Convening a Curriculum Development Committee. Such a committee, consisting primarily of teachers who represent the various schools and grade levels in a district, administrators, members of the public, and perhaps students, becomes the driving force for curriculum change and the long-term process of implementing the curriculum. It is critical that an effective, knowledgeable, and respected chairperson lead such a committee, and it includes knowledgeable and committed members who gradually become the district's de facto experts during the development phases of the process as well as the implementation phases. Identifying key issues and trends in the specific content area. The first step in any curriculum development process involves research that reviews recent issues and trends of the discipline, both within the district and across the nation. This research allows a curriculum committee to identify key issues and trends that will support the needs assessment that should be conducted and the philosophy that should be developed. Assessing needs and issues. Curriculum development should be viewed as a process by which meeting student needs leads to improvement of student learning, regardless of the theory or model followed. Curriculum developers should gather as much information as possible. This information should include the desired outcomes or expectation of a high-quality program, the role of assessment, the current status of student achievement, and actual program content. The information should also consider the concern and attitude of teachers, administrators, parents, and students. The data should include samples of assessment, lessons from the teachers, assignments, scores on state standardized tests, textbooks currently used, and students' perception and feedback from parents. In articulating and developing, we have articulating a K-12 program philosophy. These fundamental questions guide the overarching philosophy of the program. Why learn with a specific discipline? Upon what guiding principles is our program built? What are our core beliefs about teaching and learning in a specific discipline? What are the essential questions? How will we use assessment to improve the program and student learning? As such, the program philosophy provides a unifying framework that justifies and gives direction to discipline-based instruction. After having studied curriculum trends and assessed the current program, curriculum developers should be ready to construct a draft philosophy guiding the K-12 program. Such a philosophy or set of beliefs should be more than just what we think should be happening, but rather what our curriculum is actually striving to reflect. Defining K-12 program, grade level, and course goals. The purpose of the K-12 program philosophy is to describe the fundamental beliefs and inform the process of instruction. The curriculum guide delineates K-12 program goals as well as grade level and course goals that address the key cognitive and affective content expectations for the program. An effective set of program goals has the following characteristics. Each goal is broadly conceived to provide for continuous growth K-12 and into adult life. Each goal grows logically out of the philosophy of the specific discipline and the linkage is clear. The goals are comprehensive enough to provide the basis for a quality K-12 program for all learners at all places on the learning continuum. The goals include each of the outcomes suggested by the philosophy. Each goal is realistic. There is manageable numbers of goals, usually between 4 to 8. Each goal lends itself to developing one or more objectives. Developing and sequencing of grade level and course objectives. If the philosophy and goals of a curriculum represent the guiding principles of the curriculum, then the grade level and course objectives represent the core of the curriculum. The specific grade level and course objectives include clear expectations for what each learner is expected to know and be able to do and how it be measured. Identifying resource materials to assist with program implementation. An effective curriculum guide goes beyond a listing of objectives and identifies suggested instructional resources to help answer the question, what instructional materials are available to help me meet particular objective or set of objectives? As a teachers and programs move away from a single textbook approach and employ a broad range of supplementary materials, instructional models for particular units, computer software, and the like, it is increasingly important that the curriculum guide suggests and links available resources to curriculum objectives. Developing and or identifying assessment items and instruments to measure student progress. In many cases, a set of grade level, criterion reference tests, performance-based tasks, and course final examinations that answer concretely the question, how will I know that my students know and are able to do what is expected of them? Holds an entire curriculum together. This piece of the curriculum development process helps to focus instruction and ensure the often elusive but critical alignment of curriculum, instruction, and assessment. Essentially, the assessment piece of curriculum is what drives curriculum. The assessments measure not only student progress, but also the effectiveness of the goals and objectives of the curriculum in meeting student needs. In implementing, we have putting the new program into practice. Too often, traditional practice entails sending a committee away for several after-school meetings and 2 weeks of summer writing as prelude to a back-to-school unveiling and distribution of the updated or revised curriculum. The process envisioned here entails a much more in-depth and systematic approach to both development and implementation. Instead of assuming that the process ends with the publication of a new guide, an effective curriculum committee continues to oversee the implementation, updating, and evaluation of the curriculum. In evaluating, we have updating the new program and determining the success of the new program. First is updating the new program. In this age of word processing and loose leaf-bound curriculum guides, it is easier than ever to update the guides and keep them as living and changing documents. One of the most common methods of periodically updating a curriculum guide is through grade level meetings designed to share materials, activities, units, assessments, and even student work that support the achievements of the curriculum goals that were unknown or unavailable when the guide was first developed. These approaches are invaluable professional development opportunities wherein teachers assume ownership of the curriculum they are responsible for implementing. In this way, the guide becomes a growing resource for more effective program implementation. Resource teachers are particularly effective vehicles for the preparation and distribution of these updates.
Determining the success of the new program. The curriculum development cycle ends and then begins again with a careful evaluation of the effectiveness and impact of the program. Using surveys, focused discussion, and meetings like those described in Section 3, a curriculum development committee needs to periodically gather data on perceptions of program strengths, weaknesses, needs, preferences for textbooks and other materials, and topics or objectives that do not seem to be working effectively. This information should be gathered from data that represents overall student performance that is linked closely to daily instruction. Teams of teachers responsible for the specific discipline could accomplish this by sharing samples of assessments, performance tasks, student work, lesson and instructional practices related to the curricula.